Hello friends, today we will discuss walkable neighborhood. So what is the concept of walkable neighborhood? What are the benefits of walkable neighborhood? How it can be applied in planning and development of a neighborhood. So what are the complete street? Complete streets are safe, comfortable and convenient for travel for everyone, regardless of age or ability. Motorist, pedestrian, bicyclist, public transportation rider and others. So it should be universally accessible by different people, different age group, differently abled, old peoples and everyone. Complete street serves all user, pedestrians, bicyclist, transit user, motorist, goods movement, people with disability, people of all age and ability, emergency responders. So emergency responders, it means fire brigade and other emergency services. So what are the benefits of complete street? Complete street ensures improved safety, increased mobility for all the users of the neighborhood, improved air and water quality in the area, improved public health and sanitation, enhanced economic competitiveness of the area as it improves the land value and the property value, increased livability, people enjoy better quality of life in the good neighborhood which is more walkable. Improved safety. So bicyclists and pedestrians are disproportionately represented in crash rate. Designing a street for all users reduces crashes. So totally there are around 90% of collisions happens to the pedestrians, 3% to bicyclists and 5% to those who walk or bike for smaller trips. This is a study done by California Highway Patrol 1988 to 2007. But this is more or less the case for many of the cities of Indian towns too. Increased transit ridership. Sidewalks and crossings encourages transit use. Walkable neighborhoods are good for promoting the public transport, improving efficiency and reliability, make transit more appealing to the users of the neighborhood. A priority signal system can be developed to display the timing of the public transports when next transport will be available so that people can wait and watch for the next coming bus or public transport system like metro or other services. Increased walking and bicycling. A good walkable neighborhood ensures pedestrian facility for around the residents of more than 65% are more likely to walk in a neighborhood which has sidewalks or better footpaths. Bicycling facility encourages biking. Cities with more bike lanes per square mile have higher level of bicycle commuting population in the towns. Many of the European towns which has promoted walkable neighborhood concept, they are encouraging more walking and bicycling facility in their neighborhood. Decreased mobility for people with disability and older adults. If the neighborhood is not properly planned and it is not more walkable, then older people and disabled people will not be able to use the neighborhood facilities more often. Older pedestrians are more at risk. Seniors are more isolated. Pedestrians with disability require additional design considerations like they need ramps, they need sloping stairs, they need escalators if there is some public buildings available within the neighborhood area. Reduce the air pollution from transportation. Transportation is a major source of pollution in any city. Many trips could be walkable and which can be completed with walking or bicycling. So according to a source, the transportation sector emits around 70% of the CGS emissions compared to all other sources. Reduced obesity. Obesity is lower in places where people use bicycles, public transport, and their feet for walking within their neighborhood. So the 10 most obese countries on earth are United States, New Zealand, Australia, Czechoslovakia, United Arab Emirates, Slovakia, Norway, Canada, Germany, and Hungary. So there is more lack of walkable neighborhood in these countries. That's why people are getting more obese or fat. Healthier children's national priority. Nationally, fewer than one-third of children participate in 20 minutes of physical activity. This is required for every children to have a better healthy life. Safe route to schools, which is part of complete street, is growing in Almeida country and other. Sidewalk zones should have proper paving, proper plantation strips, minimum 4 to 5 meter wide sidewalks should be available. It should have good frontage, and commercial retail should be have frontage with the sidewalks so that people walking on the street can enjoy the shopping facility also, and it make the streets more safer for the user of the footpath. Create walkable neighborhoods. Have legible streets and connected activities such as schools, shops. Encourage local trips to be made by walking and cycling by having direct route to activities. So if you want to make a neighborhood more walkable, you have to make your streets more legible. Like it should have more demarcated carriageway, demarcated footpath, and it should have direct connectivity with neighborhood facilities like children's school, local shopping areas, and playgrounds in the neighborhood. Plan for walking and cycling. Walking is free and has a great health benefit, especially walking to schools and local services area will highly improve the health of the residents. Walkways may be shared, walking, cycling, prams and scooters. Walking routes should be safe, there will be proper road crossings, no drive-through traffic should be allowed in the neighborhood. Pavement surface should be permeable so that rainwater can be absorbed. Cycling facility should be encouraged, like there should be locker, showers, map source should be there, like it should indicate the direction in which the public services are available, where the neighborhood facilities are available, so that people will find it easy to use those local services while walking or while cycling in the neighborhood. Designing for surveillance and safety. Create a safe environment for activities. People's perceptions of safety are major influence for people's willingness to be active. Pathways should also be safe to minimize falls and injury. So ensure that all the footpath and walkways should have proper level. It should not have level differentiation so that persons with disabled or disability they cannot use the footpaths. And play areas of the neighborhood scale dot lots should be nearby to the houses so that the mother should be able to view their children from their kitchen. Then it will be more, if people feel safe, then they will use the neighborhood areas more often. Encourage uses of public transport. Well located and convenient public transport to encourage use over private vehicles. Shelters and sign is very important. Accessibility to bus, train and tram facilities should be encouraged. People that use public transport also walk to the train or public bus stops. So if you want to encourage more people to walk, then you should have more better planned network of footpath. Access to the public transport should be there. It should have proper bus bay, proper shelter for the waiting passengers. It should have proper display of the directions of the signages where the one bus will go, when will be the timing of the next bus, when will be the timing of next public transport. So it will improve walkability and uses of the more public transport. Promote mixed land use. Activities grouped together to minimize trips, especially residentials, retail, employment, recreational and public transport, highly increases the use of the public transport like walking, cycling and public transport like bus and other transit services. Promoting walking, cycling is very useful for promoting the healthy lifestyle in the residents. Local business also get benefited because when a person walks along the footpath, then it is more likely that he will buy something from the local shopping areas available there. If the facilities are nearby, then people will be encouraged to walk rather than using their private transport. So if we want to promote more public transport, then we have to plan more mixed use of the area, because if the work and the home areas are nearby, then the people will try to walk rather than using their private vehicle for commuting to their work places. Provide opportunities for interactions. Meeting places and public places that support a variety of interactions between people should be encouraged, because if people know each other, then it will be better for them to get a walking. If we encourage some cultural activity in the neighborhood area, then it will also improve their walkability, because people will understand one another, they will come to know about their neighbors, and then they will enjoy walking in the neighborhood. They will try to go on walking while talking to their nearby facilities like schools, hospitals, commercial services. So it is very likely that they will use walking and cycling if they interact more with their neighbors. Food security, agriculture, land protection. Some states are planning policies that seek to promote good quality agricultural land. For example, in Queensland, with a state planning policy in the protection of good agricultural land, peri-urban fringe areas of city are under the most stress to convert agricultural production to housing development as cities continue to expand. So community garden, local community-based agriculture should be promoted, and government should regulate some green buffer zones around the existing cities so that those agricultural areas can be protected and they can provide a place for fresh vegetables and fruits to the residents who use those areas for cultivating.